Welcome back to Scotty's Hobbies. Today, President Trump released a memorandum to the EPA to try to make it cheaper and easier and to clarify what we could do when it comes to repairing emissions components or devices on our vehicles. Before we get too far into this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, check out the video library for a ton of automotive helpful DIY videos and emissions deregulations videos. I'm trying to hit that 100,000 mark this year, so please hit that sub button right now. Don't forget, everything I talk about, there's links in the description to all of the material that I bring up in the video that I show up here, and all my videos are the same way. Links in the description below to everything I talk about, so you don't have to go searching for it. And if I'm missing anything, please comment below. As you're watching, let me know what you think is going to happen, what you think should happen, and if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea moving forward. All right, so this memorandum is entitled Lowering the Cost of Living by Promoting the Freedom to Fix. Memorandum for the Administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency. Now, reading this, I learned something pretty big, honestly. CARB, California Air Resources Board, is the only entity that is currently there to approve aftermarket emissions parts on any vehicle. I guess for the federal and for the California vehicles, for everything. That's something I learned, and it's going to be in this. Real fast, before we get into the whole section of this memorandum, let me read section 4, because this is going to be the most entertaining to most of you guys, or the most relevant to most of you guys. Section 4, individual freedom to fix. The administrator of the EPA shall consider deprioritizing civil tampering enforcement actions against anyone who, in good faith, attempts to fix his or own vehicle to its original configuration. Original configuration. Make sure you remember that part, okay? Now, let's get into this. Now, what this memorandum really is, let me break it down for you real fast. So, the EPA is going to be directed to provide clarity within the next 30 days of what you, the consumer, or a vehicle owner and a shop can do when it comes to repairing a vehicle. Legally, that is. So, there's a lot of shops out there that are afraid to even just touch a vehicle when it comes to emissions control devices because they're afraid of getting in trouble for tampering. It's still illegal to tamper emissions components on your vehicle. The second thing is, this memorandum takes aim at CARB's aftermarket approval process. This memorandum is going to cause the EPA, or is going to direct the EPA to come up with an approval process for aftermarket parts other than just CARB. So they are going to direct aftermarket part manufacturers or aftermarket part testing facilities to come up with a proving ground on these aftermarket or for these aftermarket parts that are going to be sold, which in turn can cause lower cost on parts. That is the biggest thing right now. There's a lot of parts out there, a lot of vehicles out there that just the parts are not available. So I get a lot of people saying my early 2000s vehicle can no longer be registered because I can't find a part for this vehicle, an emissions component for this vehicle that will get the check engine light to turn off, so I cannot register my vehicle because the part is no longer available. So with this memorandum, if it all goes through, there's going to be cheaper parts out there, there's going to be more available parts, and really the parts that aren't available right now might become available on the market sometime fairly soon, which is really nice. The current process has become bottlenecked because it's only California that's approving these aftermarket parts. And you know, California, it takes forever and it costs a ton of money to get these parts approved when it comes to the California Air Resources Board. There's currently a bill going through the California legislation, that's SB1069, I want to say. It was in the Transportation Committee today. I'm waiting for an update on that. And that bill right there, it's kind of, there's a lot to that bill, and I'm going to be covering that as soon as I know what happens in the Transportation Committee. It was supposed to be held today, but some stuff was going on down in Sacramento, I should say up in Sacramento, that they might have pushed that committee meeting on for another day. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at directly this memorandum. Again, it's titled Lowering the Cost of Living by Promoting the Freedom to Fix. Section 1, the purpose. During the previous administration, crushing environmental regulatory burdens caused the average cost of vehicles to soar. My administration has therefore taken historic action to reduce or remove these burdensome regulations and decrease the rising costs that consumers face. With the largest deregulatory action in United States history, my administration rescinded regulations concerning greenhouse gas emissions for light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles. and affirmed the right to fix agricultural and non-road equipment. So that right there is covering, and it talks about how it mentions agricultural and non-road equipment is because the right to fix, I believe it was the Freedom to Fix Act that was signed, made it so that, John Deere had to release their diagnostic information and equipment to the public so individuals themselves and repair shops can repair John Deere equipment. That was the biggest one. I haven't heard of any problems when it comes to your medium and light duty vehicles that are on the road of the manufacturers holding back information when it comes to diagnostic and repairs, but mostly heavy duty agricultural equipment. Especially John Deere was having an issue with only John Deere could repair their vehicles for a long time. That just changed. And that's why it mentions to fix agriculture and non-road equipment. Consumers and aftermarket part manufacturers and resellers, however, face continuing regulatory uncertainty concerning whether aftermarket parts may be used in repairs due to the Clean Air Act's prohibition on tampering with emissions controls. So a lot of shops are afraid to even touch vehicles when it comes to emissions control devices or components because they don't want to be blamed for tampering a vehicle, because it's still illegal to tamper a vehicle or remove emissions components, and I don't think that's going to change. And it goes on. And it goes over in that section 1 how the state of California is just making it super burdensome on the consumers because of the backlog and just the pain in the butt process it is to get parts approved in California. A lot of aftermarket part manufacturers just don't want to deal with California, which in turn makes it so they don't want to deal with the whole United States when it comes to aftermarket parts. 2, expanding emissions repair options. The administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency shall provide guidance within 30 days of the date of this memorandum on the freedom to fix by clarifying what actions individuals may take on their own vehicles to conduct emissions repairs or have emissions repairs conducted, consistent with the Clean Air Act. Such guidance shall be limited to the matters specified in this memorandum. So within 30 days, the EPA has to come up with a guidance letting us know what we can do to our vehicles. And really, this is going to be the one where a lot of people think the EPA is going to allow us to remove emissions components on our vehicles. We will wait and see what the EPA comes up in their guidance within 30 days. So today is what, June 29th? So by July 28th or 29th, we should have some guidance on what can be done to our own vehicles. That's going to be pretty big, and I will let you guys know what that says as soon as it comes out. Section 3, providing assurance. To increase clarity for aftermarket equipment manufacturers, prevent cheap foreign knockoffs, and reduce reliance on CARB's faulty and backlog certification process, the administrator of the EPA shall encourage the submission of, expeditiously consider, and act on any request from organizations capable of testing aftermarket parts for conformance with the Clean Air Act. Where appropriate, the administrator of the EPA shall provide assurance while protecting manufacturers' intellectual property and confidential business information that the proposed certification process for aftermarket emission parts meet the requirement of the Clean Air Act and relevant EPA regulations. So Section 3 is asking for aftermarket part manufacturers that can test, or companies such as SEMA, they have a division where they test aftermarket parts when it comes to emissions components. They can test if these components or parts reduce emissions or excessive, whatever the word is. If these emissions components reduce emissions more than the OEM or as much as the OEM, and that will make it a lot easier for parts to be approved, hopefully on a California and a federal level, if there is a third party out there that can be approved to test aftermarket parts. We'll see how that one goes too. Section 4, individual freedom to fix. The administrator of the EPA shall consider deprioritizing civil tampering enforcement actions against anyone who, in good faith, attempts to fix his or her own vehicle to its original configuration. And that's where a lot of people think, I think I mentioned it before in this video, that this is going to be a right to remove emissions components. From that section, it looks like we are going to have to repair our vehicle to its original configuration, which means continue to have the original emissions components on our vehicles. Section 5, general provision. And this just explains like more in detail of what this memorandum actually means and is going to do. It doesn't give you much more information, but you can go read it. Links in the description below for you to go check it out. Now, what do you think is going to happen from all this? What I like about this information is we might have more parts available. Those parts might be cheaper because there's going to be availability, or there's going to be a market that is actually competing if more manufacturers start producing aftermarket parts. That's what I really like about this. So that will really lower the cost of parts if more manufacturers get involved in making emissions components. Also, if parts that are not available right now become available, like I said earlier in the video, for the early 2000s vehicles, there's a lot of parts just being phased out because there's not that many of those vehicles on the road, so manufacturers don't want to provide those parts. Those parts now might become available to help get some of these older cars back on the road because they will be able to pass the emissions inspection. We'll see what the guidance says within 30 days. I'll keep you guys posted on everything. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Check out the video library for a ton of automotive helpful DIY videos and emissions deregulations videos. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. I will see you guys on the next hopefully helpful video.